Hey everybody, and welcome back to the TheMindCatcher's channel, aka TMC Natural Beauty, and my name is Valerie, and today we're going to talk about the Juvia's Place palettes, eyeshadow palettes that I currently own. There are a few out there that I don't have, I haven't been able to purchase, I still want them, but we're going to talk about the ones that I currently own and I've already used, and I'm going to try my best to narrow it down to my top 3. And anyone who is a newbie to Juvia's Place, have not tried any of their products, please check out my Juvia's Place playlist, because I do have foundation and eyeshadow tutorials, you know, showcasing some of their palettes and their foundation. Because I was on the hunt for their foundation, like a match for myself. So I think I have about 2 or 3 videos with different foundation shades. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into it. I don't even remember which was my first palette. It could have been the Zulu palette. Let's just say it was that. I know this was one of the first. So, okay, this is the Zulu palette. And as you can see, it is beautiful. We love the artwork. And that's one of the things that drew me to Juvia's Place. I really love the artwork on the front of the palettes. Absolutely beautiful. But then when you open it up, you see these big shadows, more beautiful artwork, big shadows. So you know it's going to last you a while. And the first thing that I thought, honestly, when I first saw these pans inside of these palettes, I was thinking Sugar Pill, because Sugar Pill Cosmetics came out with the huge pans, and the pigmentation was so insane. Everybody had to have Sugar Pill at the time. So I really saw the connection between Juvia's Place and Sugar Pill as far as the size and the pigmentation. I say, yeah, I want to give that a try. Plus, it was a black-owned company, so I said, yeah, you know, let's try this out. So you have a nice brown right there in the palette. You have a yellow, you have an orange, you have some greens. Everybody knows my favorite color is green. You have like a teal shade there. You have some shimmers, you have some mattes. You have another shade down here that's, let me just swatch it for you. I can't describe, it's kind of like a pinky gold, kind of like a rose gold shade. And that one is very pretty. I hope you can see that, because I know my lighting is a bit bright tonight. I hope you can see that. And that's beautiful. That can definitely be an all over the lid shade, or a highlight shade in the center of the eye, or a highlight in the inner corner of the eye. You could even use this on the cheek as a highlight. So they make shadows that you can use different ways, different purposes. You can use them for blush. You don't necessarily have to use them on your eyes. That's what I love so much about them. Like I said, also the size of the pan. Look how big it is. Most pans and other brands are not that big. And the pigmentation, just let me give you a swatch of this purple right here in the palette. You can see the pigmentation is insane. Now, with the Zulu palette, honestly, looking at this before the year 2020, because none of us were able to go pretty much anywhere but to work and home. But looking at this palette, could you see yourself using these shades every day? Would you go into this palette for work? Would you go into this palette for school? Would you go into this palette for a night out? Things like that. Can this be the one size fits all palette for you? For me personally, no, it cannot be. It cannot be. The only thing that I can see me using on an every single day basis that's not too loud or crazy is this brown in the outer corner up here. That's it. That's all I can use on an every single day basis. If I want to just do a matte brown smoky eye, or if I want to put a little bit of brown in my crease area, something like that, I might be able to use this shimmer shade down here and just apply it all over the eye. Something very light and dainty, kind of like what I'm wearing tonight. I just have a shimmery shade all over the lid, nothing else. I could see that, but that's it. All these other shades, in my opinion, for my everyday life, are a little bit too bright and too bold. And it's a fun palette. Yes, I could use it going out. If I'm going to a club, to a party, yes. But every day, no. So this did not make it in my top 3. The next palette we're going to look at here is the Warrior palette. I believe this is the first Warrior palette, and it is beautiful. I love the packaging. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so then we open up the palette. We have 9 shades inside, just like the other palette, the Zulu. But look, we have more neutral tones. All of them are neutral. All of them are shades that I feel like a woman of color can use on their lids. Someone lighter than me can use them. I think that they are all gorgeous. You do have your matte shades. You have a deep dark brown that could be your crease shade. You have a medium brown that can be your transition shade. You have another tan type shade that could be a brow bone shade. You have other shades that could be brow bone highlights. You have shimmers that can go in the inner corner on the center of the lid for a halo eye. You have shades that can go all around the eye for a sparkly, smoky eye look. You can do so much with this palette. Each one of these shades can be used by itself. You can also use some of these shades as highlights on the cheek. So in my opinion, a very versatile palette. And this palette did make it in my top 3. I'm going to give you some random swatches out of here. Just put them here on my hand. And you can see that the pigmentation is absolutely phenomenal for this palette. I could see taking this to do wedding makeup. If someone was doing like a neutral shade wedding, this would be a beautiful palette. Gorgeous. This palette can definitely be used in the daytime with a pop of color on the lips or a beautiful blush. This could be used at night. It's going to give you that glow and everything that you need. I've even seen people use some of these shades as bronzers along the collarbone, along the front of the legs, mixing like with your lotion and just running some of those bronzier shades on the legs. Just give you that glow during the spring and the summer months. So very versatile. People don't think about that, but very, very versatile. So I think that this is definitely in my top 3. I could use this every day. If I had to use this every day, I could. All right, guys, so let me show you. We have the Warrior 2 palette right here. I'm going to show you guys. And you see the difference here. You got that bronzy, golden glow over here with the Warrior. Then you have the Warrior 2 that's a little bit more subdued, a little bit more mattified on the outer packaging. So let's see what it looks like inside. We have all matte shades. So perhaps someone may have said, oh, the Warrior is so awesome, but you only have 3 matte shades in there. I wish that you guys had some more matte shades, because there are a lot of ladies out there who say, I like matte eyeshadows. I don't like shimmers at all. I've had people tell me that shimmer eyeshadows make their eyes look dated or old, or it gets into the creases or the wrinkles in their face, and they don't like that. I've had that several times. People have told me that. So I understand. So the matte Warrior would be for you. Okay, so you have your deep dark brown there. You have another deeper brown. You have your transition color. For me, that would be a transition color right over here in the corner. Right here, you have your peachy, like terracotta-ish type shades. You have some more shades down here. This could be an all-over lid shade. This could be a brow bone highlight or inner corner highlight, all matte. And you have the deepest, darkest black. Let me show you guys. This black is insane. So you can see that right there. And I'll give you a swatch of a few others. Right here on my hand. So you can see the pigmentation is awesome, even in the matte shades. I feel like the Warrior 2 can definitely make it in my top 3. It's a beautiful palette. I feel like sometimes you do feel like a matte look. Sometimes you don't want any shimmers. You have all the shades you need. You guys know, if you've been following me a long time, you know I love to have a deep dark brown in the palette and a deep black, because you can always do that outer corner. You can always smoke things out. This one has both, the deep dark brown and the black. So I'm loving it. And if you get both, you have the best of both worlds right there with Warrior 1 and Warrior 2. In my opinion, you can stop right there. But we have so many other palettes to talk about. You could stop right there if you're a person that loves neutral and you say, I'm not into color. You could stop right there. Warrior 1 and 2. That's it. But there are some of us who love a little color. We love to, you know, get all jazzed up and just do something a little fun. And we have other palettes to go through. I forgot how they pronounce this, the Dolce or the Deuce or Dulce palette, but isn't that pretty? I just absolutely love the packaging on that one as well. So we're going to open that up. And you see what that looks like inside. When I first saw this palette, I said, okay, this is an AKA's dream. You got your pinks in there, your greens in there, your pastel type shades. It's definitely like an Easter or a spring palette. It's very, very cute. I can automatically tell you this would not be an everyday palette for me. Although I do have a deep dark brown. I need a crease color. We have it. I do have a shade that could go all over the lid. We do have a matte right there. We have a few shimmers there, but they're more pinks. I'm not a person that wears pinks too often. You do have a pretty green over here. You know, some other shimmer shades. I'll give you guys a few swatches of what we have here. This like fuchsia type shade in the very middle. Very pretty. I don't think I've ever used that shade in the tutorial. I don't think so. But look at the pigmentation there. Beautiful pigmentation. But is this a everyday palette? I actually think I've only done about 2 videos with this palette. Maybe 2. But I was just so drawn to the colors. I feel like the color scheme inside could be used for like your house. I mean, it's so pretty to get the way they put everything. It's aesthetically pleasing is what I want to say. I think it's very cute, very pretty. I just love looking at it, but I would not put this in my top 3 at all. I could not use this every day. No. All right, we're going to move on to the Nomad palette. Now, when I saw this, I was like, I have to have it. First of all, the front is gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. I love green. Green is my favorite color. So when I saw the outside of the palette, I was like, yes. When I opened it up, you have some of the most schmuggly colors in the world. This is definitely a fall palette. I cannot remember when it came out, but I will tell you, in my opinion, if you're a person that loves to wear those neutral shades, those greens, those yellows, those burnt oranges in the fall, this is an awesome palette for that. All of these shades are absolutely breathtaking to me. I've been trying to find actually nail polishes that match each one of these shades. They're beautiful. The color story in here is so pretty to me. It really is. I love that. I mean, like, could you just imagine like decorating or something like that with those shades? Beautiful. You have a beautiful like mustardy yellow up here. You have a yellow with some sparkle, and the sparkle does show up when you put it, pack it on the lid and you move your eyes around, you will see that sparkle. You have that like army green over here. That's beautiful. We have shades that can be used as a transition color, as a lid color, as an all over eye color. Any of these could be a smoky eye. Any of these. So absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to give you guys some swatches. We only have like 2 kind of shimmer shades in here, but beautiful. Is this an everyday palette? No. Once again, I would have to say no, because I know it's going to be some days where I'm not feeling fall. But all of these are definitely fall shades. Such beautiful orangey, and like I said before, I like to call shades like this like schmuggly shades. Like They're beautifully ugly. I love them. I absolutely adore these shades. So any of these can go on the eye. Beautiful look. The next palette here is the Masquerade palette, the Masquerade Mini, and I like the outside. Not in love with it, but I like it. We open it up and we have 16 shades inside. You notice the size difference between this palette and the others. That's why they call it the Masquerade Mini, I'm assuming, because the shades are so little inside, so you see the difference. But that's fine. I mean, it takes a while to hit pan on anything. Unless you only have one palette, it's going to be a while before you hit pan. But look at all these neutrals at the bottom. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That is awesome. You have plenty of shades that can be worn every single day. And then you have your party shades at the top. So they were really doing something here. They were really doing something here. I really appreciate the fact that if I feel purple or I feel blue, I feel green, I can do that. Your fuchsias, your pinks. I have a few shimmer shades up here as well. And then I have my matte browns and my matte like orangey type shades. A deep brown that I could wear in the outer corner. Okay. So just like I'm playing spades or something, this is a possible. This is a possible for the top 3 spot. I'm loving it. I'm going to give you a couple of swatches. We're going to give you some of the brighter shades. Absolutely vibrant, gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous shades. Look at that. Those are some of your brighter shades. So no pigmentation loss. You see, definitely consistent. There hasn't been a dud yet. I have bought plenty of Juvia's Place palettes, but I don't have any duds. All of the pigmentation has been consistent. I will say that about them. I'll give you a swatch of this beautiful orange that has like this gold shimmer running through it, and it does show up on the skin. We have some matte browns in here. We have a beautiful gold we can use. This could definitely be a fall palette as well. So there are just some of the browns here. Beautiful. There's one shimmer like champagne-y shade I'll put here on my wrist. So like I said, this is definitely in the running for top 3. But I don't want to say it is yet. So that was the Masquerade palette. You have lots of neutrals. You have lots of color. Alright guys, the Saharan palette. Looks like that on the outside. I just recently did a video on this maybe about 2 months ago maybe. But this is one of my least favorite color stories. I didn't get this. I didn't understand. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking with this. I don't. It's not a favorite of mine at all. It's not. And normally I say I like to have a black in the palette. We do have a black right there. Nice and pigmented. It is a gorgeous black. But the other shades just like let me down completely. It's like, what am I going to do with this stuff? I don't know. It's like, to me, nothing is cohesive. Nothing really goes together well. You have some standout shades. You have this Kia shade here in the corner. And I think I like that so much just because I love a good green. It's kind of a blued out green. It's a pretty shade, but I could do that with the black. It's almost like I could say that I can do just about every shade in here with the black. And that's about it. Even when I was doing the tutorial, I went out of my way to really use this Casina color here as a transition because it's a lot lighter than my skin tone. So I really didn't have a transition color. Now, I see the ladies on Juvia's Place's Instagram account, and I guess they put them on their website as well, and they do beautiful looks. I mean, anybody that's a true artist can put these colors together and create a beautiful cut crease with all these different colors. But if I'm being honest and I have to say, okay, I have to use this palette every single day. Do I see myself using this every day? Am I going to use 16 shades on my eyelids to go to work? No. I'm just probably going to use 2, maybe 3 on a good morning. So it didn't do that for me. It didn't. Out of this palette, what shades I would possibly be using daily? Maybe this gold, this shade over here, this tan shade, this black. Maybe. Maybe. So it wasn't my favorite. It was definitely not my favorite. So we're just going to put this over here to the side. You know, it's something I own now. I will not give it up. I love collecting, but it was not my fave. Let's go into the Magic palette. So this is one of my newer palettes as well. This is absolutely pretty on the outside. It reminds me a lot of the Warrior 2 on the outside. That mattified, you know, soft look. Very, very pretty. It says that it was inspired by the moon and sun goddesses of the wilds. Okay, so let's look inside. Okay, so here you are. Some absolutely beautiful, some very vibrant shades. Really, really like this one. I like looking at it, but it again, not one of my favorites. You don't have a dark brown. You don't have a black. You have a very dark blue here. So in my opinion, this could be, maybe a summertime palette. You know, it's full of vibrant shades. You have a lavender type shade here. These are shades you don't often see in palettes. So a very pretty, like lavender. You have a pretty green here. So I could see this being used as a spring, summer type palette. If you're into color all the time, something like that. Maybe vacation palette. I only see about 3 shades that you can use, maybe 4 daily, like a neutral look, like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe. But that's it. For deeper skin tones, we really don't have that nice crease shade that we're looking for. All of the shades that would be used in the crease or are deep enough to use in the crease would be more of a party type shade. Deep blues, deep green. It's a color called Asia or Aja, A-J-A. That's pretty. That's a pretty, like, I don't know what you would call it, like a greenish black. It's very pretty, very deep and rich, but not my fave. So in my opinion, you could pass on the Magic Mini if you're looking for an everyday, all incorporated palette. No, that one. Let's move on to the Afrique palette. This is one of my new palettes as well. Beautiful, beautiful packaging. I think this is some of my favorite packaging right here. Very pretty. I really like that. And it says that a true representation of beauty, art, and glamour. The Afrique eyeshadow collection consists of 12 highly pigmented eyeshadows. So I cannot disagree with that. All of the eyeshadows are so vibrant and nice. But to me, it didn't have a good color story. I didn't like this. And I really struggled in the video that I did. I really, really did, trying to figure out what I was going to do. This is my least favorite out of every single palette that I have. The least favorite. There are some standout shades. You do have like your average Crayola crayon, like orange and blue and green. Yes, we need those. We need a vibrant green, a vibrant blue. You never know. You know, you might just find an outfit and you say, I want to do a blue smoky eye. And you just need that bold, beautiful blue. The pigmentation, like I said, is insane. However, that's it. It's like, what else do we have to work with here? You have like a goldish type antique gold shade down here. It's very, very vibrant. I'm going to give you a swatch of that one. Very vibrant, but it's like what goes with it. We have a shade that may be able to be my transition color. I'm going to give you a shade there. You have this shade down here that doesn't really show up too well on my skin tone. It's kind of light, but that could be kind of an all over shade, but that's about it. We have Angelique over here in the corner, like a shimmer shade that's just a bit too bright for all over the lid. And then we have this shade over here that's like a rust type shade. That could be a pretty all over shade. You saw me just swatch these. I kind of like this story. And then I could add in and, you know, work around these, but to throw these in this palette with no deeper brown, no black, no deep burgundy. You have this reddish rust shade, but it's still not deep enough, in my opinion, to really work out a crease. So this, in my opinion, is my least favorite. You guys let me know what you think. Still looking for the perfect mix. Okay, let's go into the chocolates palette. Remember, they were doing the minis, so only 6 shades in these. So that's what it looks like, and they have so many more now. I only have 2 of these. But I picked the chocolates palette and I picked the berries palette. The chocolate can definitely be an everyday palette for a deeper skin tone person. Definitely. You have your outer corner. You have your transition. You have something that can be used as a brow bone. You have inner corner sparkle or halo eyes right there. One of these browns is a cool tone brown. I believe it's this one over this shade. And then one of these deep browns is a warm brown. Okay? I absolutely love this palette. I can definitely rock this every day. If you gave me these 6 shades and said, this is all I'm giving you, you just deal with this, I could work with this every single day. You're going to get some smoky eyes some days. You're going to get some halo eyes some days. I feel like they gave me what I needed for my skin tone to create a decent look every day. Will I be able to get different looks every day of the year? No. But I could manage with these 6 shades. So this is definitely going in my possibles side right over here. This is a possible. And we're going to go into the berries. I know this video is getting long. I'm almost finished. I only got one more palette, I think. Now look at your berries palette. That is absolutely gorgeous. But it is good for what it is good for. And I believe that was like Valentine's Day. I'm getting that Valentine's Day vibe. Can I use this every day? You're not going to be wearing berry shades every day, I don't think. Somebody out there may use it every day, but I wouldn't see myself using this every day. It's not neutral enough. But it is a gorgeous palette. These berries are so pigmented and pretty. I'm just giving you a little swatch of a few. So, and you have this vibrant pink that has like that spray of glitter. Every one of these palettes, well, not every one, but a few of them have like that one shade that has that spray, like they just said across the shade with a little glitter. So when you put it on your lid, you see that sparkle when you're moving, and this pink does that. It is so pretty, so very pretty. And you see you can use that as a blush. It's a pretty versatile palette, but not an everyday palette. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's be serious. We couldn't use this every single day of our lives. We could not. Okay, you even have this shimmer shade over here, like a rosy gold type shade. Oh, it's beautiful. Very, very pretty. Very pretty. Applied lightly, I think you could get away with that as a highlight. Or even a brow bone color. That'd be pretty. Wow. It's just revisiting these palettes while I'm swatching for you guys. I'm like, wow, like I'm coming up with ideas in my head. That's the other shimmer down there. I'm coming up with ideas in my head on what I can do next. Very pretty palette. It's a gorgeous palette. Do I think you need the palette? No. Do I think you would want that palette? Yes. It is a beautiful palette. The berries palette is beautiful. Out of the two, between the chocolates and the berries, which one would you get more use out of? The chocolates. Okay, you're gonna be more neutral most of the time, unless your job is at Sephora, Ulta, at the makeup counter somewhere, MAC. I don't see you getting a lot of use out of colorful palettes. You understand what I'm saying? And the very last palette we have here is the Walhalla palette. That is the brand. This is the newest palette to Juvia's Place website. I don't have the Walhalla 1, but I did manage to snag the 2 when they were running like some sort of a sale, something they were doing. But anyway, it became available and I clicked and I got it because the Walhalla 1 and this one is now always sold out. So I've only done one video with this palette, but it is a beautiful palette. It's very blue and green heavy. You see all that? You can't help but to open up this palette and look directly at those blues and greens. But now that I'm looking at it, you do have somewhat of a neutral-ish roll right here when you're going down. Right here, you do have a roll that you can kind of work with on an everyday kind of basis. Maybe you do have your deep dark brown here. You do have a kind of shimmery shade, but it's more on the copper side. You do have a tan here, and this 419 shade leans a little bit more orange, and then you have definitely an orange up there. Is this an everyday palette? No, you could not. I really don't think you could get away with this every day. But do you have some beautiful shades in here? Yes, you do. So if you're an avid collector like I am, yes, you are going to want this palette. I still want the Walhalla 1. I'm just curious about this shade down here. Okay. So you do have a deep, dark, brownish something type shade there. It has a little shimmer to it, but you see that's pretty deep. You can use that as a crease color. Right next to it, you have more of a matte brown. I could definitely use this as a crease. And I think in my video I did. It's right there. Okay, you have some glitter shades. Look at how that comes out. Look at that. Look at that. I would definitely apply that with a little bit of glitter glue, but that is it comes out of the, I don't even know how they do that. It comes out of the package like sticky. That's amazing. It comes out sticky, like you don't need to, look at that. You don't need to do anything. And it spreads. That is amazing. So if you're a person that's into glitter, you're just like, I'm going to do it big today. I'm going all out. It's my birthday, whatever. This is the palette for you. It definitely is. It's so many shimmer shades, so many gorgeous. It's the shade up here in the top corner called Fake. While I'm moving the palette, the shade is changing colors like a chameleon. It goes from like green to orange to pink to purple. Let me see if that's, it's beautiful. Will that do that on the lid? Because I'm now curious about using that in a tutorial. It does. It moves as I move my hand. Look at that, guys. Isn't that amazing? That is a gorgeous shade. Has anybody talked about these shades in a video? That is absolutely amazing. But is it an everyday palette? No. No. It's fabulous. This is like party central. Look at that. You have your greens, you have your blues, you have your purples. This is party central. But is it every day? No. No. And I don't have Walhalla 1 because I'm really curious as to what Walhalla 1 will look like next to this. Like, do I need both? That's the question. Do I need Walhalla 1 and 2? Just because I'm a collector, I'm going to always want one until I have it. I'm looking at this shade Venom. It reminds me of like a mermaidy green. Let's just swatch that. Oh, that's beautiful. It's almost like a, oh, it looks green, but when I swatch it, it looks bluish purple, but more like pastel. There are some gorgeous shades in this palette. And still, I would not pick this for an everyday palette. I would not. I could not. I could not sit here honestly and tell you guys, and look at all the mess. Look at this. Look at this glitter. It's just, I'm using a wet wipe to clean off my hand, and that glitter is there. That glitter is there to stay. So you be careful if you decide to use that, because that's going to be on your cheeks. That's going to be everywhere, especially when you try to remove it. So be careful with your eyes. I don't know if they're saying certain shades. Oh, they are on the back giving you the description on some of these shades. You have some pressed pigments in here. The shades Dream, Wasted, Wicked, Too Much, Lust, Fury, Yab, and ASAP are all pressed pigments. Then they have the ones that are eyeshadows listed here. Then they have the ones that are glitter listed here as well. And they have warnings. Okay. It says that Dream, Wasted, Wicked, Too Much, Lust, Fury, Yab, ASAP, Colo are not intended for use around the immediate eye area. Okay, so you have to really, really be careful, because these are pretty big glitter particles. I was thinking about that. Like, if I put that on my lid, I have to be extremely careful because you don't want that to cut the eye or anything like that. So you have to be careful. So what do I think? What made my top 3? Drum roll, please. I think that Warrior 1, Warrior 2 for those ladies out there who love matte shades and just can't get into the shimmer. Warrior 1 for people who don't mind matte or shimmer. You could just get that. If you like both and you need that, was it a black in here? Yes. If you need a black in your life, get the 2 of these. The Masquerade palette, in my opinion, has it all. In my opinion, for a deeper skin tone, I think that you could do the Masquerade palette and you would have your neutrals. And because these browns here are kind of deep enough, or these rusty, because this is more like a rusty color. So in my opinion, it's deep enough to do an outside crease on my skin tone. Most darker skin tones, I know there are plenty of people darker than me that might disagree, but I like these. And I feel like if you got this palette and the Warriors, you would be good. You would have your color, you would have your shimmer, you would have your fun, you would have your mattes, you would have your everyday, you would have your work appropriate, church appropriate. You get what I'm saying? I think these 3 could do it for you. Your chocolate palette for somebody who needs some extra browns in their life, and you could go ahead and do that. Your berries, if you love that vampy, I think that this is a beautiful palette for the Valentine's Day time or for fall. I think that's nice. Of course, you guys know I said the Nomad. I love it. If you love those sweater weather colors, you're gonna love that. Least favorites, Afrique and the Saharan. I don't even, those will definitely just be sitting here for the looks, but I don't think I'm gonna dabble with those too much. But that is about it. Let me know if you agree with my favorites. Again, the chocolates, the Masquerade as a one-stop shop palette. If you have to have color and you have to have neutrals, I feel like in my little collection, because this is all I have, but it may be another palette out there that they have that does have more to choose from. I don't know. But just in my collection. So y'all don't go telling them Val said. In my collection, this one has both the neutrals and the color that I would need for everyday and for party. Okay, and these two, Warrior 2 for everyday. If I had to dumb it down just to two, it would be these two. If you want a good time, fun palette, go ahead and get the Walhalla 1 and the Walhalla 2. Because there's lots of glitz and glam in these palettes, definitely. All right, guys, so I hope that you enjoy just, you know, listening to me rant, talk y'all ear off, because that's basically what I did. And please give me a like. Please share this video. Please let me know whether you agree with me, you don't. Let me know if there's a palette that I must have, because they're still doing some sales. So let me know if there's a palette out there that you feel like is your #1 from Juvia's Place. Let me know. I will definitely pick it up and do another one of these videos, okay? I will talk to you guys in the next one. Please give me a thumbs up and share the video. I will leave a playlist of all of the Juvia's Place tutorials that I've done, all of their eyeshadow looks, their foundations that I've tried. Everything will be in that playlist, okay? Cyber kisses.